Ever since I was a little kid, I've been infatuated with KUDU. I remember watching an African hunting show on TV and they called him the gray ghost. And once I heard that, I was like, man, this animal's freaking cool. And so it's always been a dream of mine to shoot one. Never really thought I'd get an opportunity, but here we are in Africa, and Josh and Sarah pulled me aside and they asked me, you know, what would my top animals be if I got to hunt some? Of course, I said KUDU at the top of the list. Never really expecting that was gonna be a possibility, but to my amazement, they said, well, bud, you're gonna get your opportunity.
Well, it's our second to last day here in Limpopo, and we still have a red hartebeest and an impala on my list. Jeff shot a nice wildebeest yesterday, and then we both are hunting for KUDU here in the blind today, so we'll see what comes in. We already had a big group of wildebeest come in, which is pretty cool, so we'll see what we can get.
Now, both Josh and Sarah also want to shoot KUDU, but Sarah, she's setting the bar really high for herself, and she said she's not going to shoot one unless it's a certain size, roughly the equivalent of a 200-inch whitetail. So that's about a 55-inch KUDU, which is a monster. So basically, anything that came in that was smaller than that she didn't necessarily want to shoot herself, I'm up to bat. Okay, so we're in the blind and we're waiting on a few different species that Sarah's still wanting to shoot. And it's been pretty slow of an evening. We haven't really seen a whole lot. We had just heard some noise behind us, what sounded like the kind of an alarm call that the KUDU make, which was a little disheartening. You know, obviously you don't want to hear alarm calls when you're out there hunting. So it got kind of quiet. We had maybe half an hour before dark, and I just happened to look out one of the blind windows, and I remember thinking, wouldn't it be awesome if a giant bull KUDU stepped out right there? Well, no sooner as I thought that, I turned around to say something to John, our PH, and as soon as I turned to look at him, I see his eyes get huge, and he's looking behind me out the same window I just looked at. I turned, and I couldn't believe what I saw.
How big is he?
Now I immediately start filming this big bull, and I'm assuming that this is a giant, you know, and Sarah, there's no way she's gonna wanna pass this animal up. Now John, he's trying to give us a rough guesstimate of how big he is, and he whispers, 51, 52 inches, which was right below the 55 that Sarah was hoping to shoot. But still, this thing's huge. There's no way she's gonna wanna pass this up. So I turned to ask her, is she gonna get ready to shoot it? And I'll never forget, but as I turned to ask her that, she's already got her hands out, waiting for the camera, and I'm up to bat.
see the blood spray?
Dude, I just smoked a big KUDU bull here in South Africa. That is my #1 target animal, and has been since I was 3 feet high. Holy crap, he is a stud. He is a stud. And I think I just made a perfect shot at like 41 yards. I don't know what to say other than thank you to everybody involved in this. I gotta take a second. Oh man, that's a big bull. That's a nice bull. Oh my God, here come the shakes, dude. Oh shit. We were sitting here, and the wind's been iffy all day, and we actually heard a KUDU behind us, and he blew or snorted. And I just looked out the window, and you know, as a hunter, you envision animals stepping out into shooting lanes and envisioning the process. And no sooner as I looked away from the window, John looks out, he said, KUDU bull, KUDU bull. And I turned, and he was in exactly the same spot that I just pictured one stepping out. He walked in front of us. He looked like he was gonna work into the water hole. But then he seemed a little nervous and he turned. And I was not letting him get out of here. We ranged him for 40. He walked a few steps. So I knew he was about 41, 42. I held it a little bit high. And it looks like I pumped him perfect. He was slightly quartering away. And that's all she wrote, boys and girls.
All right, now my shot looks perfect, and we get on the blood trail after about 20 minutes. We only have a little bit of time before it gets dark, so we want to try to find them before, you know, we run into animals out there that can eat us. Right off the bat, we have awesome blood, but John said, hey, Sheba, she's not too far. Let's get her on the track and help us. And as soon as she gets on the track, she takes off barking. And John said, hey, that can only mean one thing, your bull's still alive, and we gotta go because she is gonna keep that thing moving until it dies. So the chase is on.
Right there. Oh God.
Freaking A. Nice work, buddy. That's a freaking bull. Good stuff. Thank you. Nice.
Thank you, boys.
She was getting it.
That is not how you want this to go down. We thought the shot was way better than that. I have no idea how far, or how he made it that far. You saw the blood.
That's a nice bull, Jeffy.
Luckily, Sheba was with us. She was able to keep on the trail for us so we could basically wear him out. And I just put the second arrow through his heart and he's down, finally. Oh my God.
He's done, dude.
Oh. Not how I wanted it to happen, but we got him.
All right, we finally caught up to my bull, and I was able to get a second arrow into it. Perfect shot right in the heart, put it down right there. But man, how tough are these animals? My first shot was right on the money. It was quartering away. I put it right through the liver and the offside lung, and it still ran forever. But man, we got it on the ground, and I can finally put my hands on one of the coolest animals I have ever encountered.
Shiva girl. This is as much your bull as mine, baby. Holy smokes. Look at this thing. Oh. What a freaking animal. I've wanted a KUDU since I was old enough to say KUDU. When you think Africa, I think you picture one or two animals, and this right here is definitely one of them. Oh my God, what a freaking magnificent creature. I'm speechless. You know, I feel terrible that we had to run him this far. I don't get how he went this far. We thought the shot was, you know, maybe a touch back, but he was quartering away, and we reviewed the footage in the blind, and it clearly was in line with this offside leg. You know, all three of us, Sarah, myself, and the guide John, or the PH John, we said, hey, he's done. We gave him 20 minutes. You saw the blood, it was perfect, but he just kept going. And so Shiva got on the trail, and we've been running for the last 20 minutes after, 30 minutes. But as much as I hate it, I'm still super proud of him. I'm happy that we were able to put him down. As you can see, this shot definitely was perfect. I can't believe it. When they asked me what animal I'd most like to shoot here in Africa, the KUDU was first on my list. And we got a stud of a bull. I don't know what else to say other than thank you for everybody. Josh and Sarah especially, you know, I wouldn't be able to hunt these things without their help. And you know, our PH John, and then of course our PH Donnie, you know, he orchestrated this whole trip. So my hat's off to both of them. And of course, Shiva girl, the hero of the night. If it wasn't for Shiva, I don't know if we would have caught up with this guy, at least not till daylight. There's no way we'd been able to track him through this jungle by ourselves. What do you think, dude?
I'm so pumped you, man.
What did I tell you when I got here? What did I want?
A KUDU.
And we got one.
No, we just didn't get one. We got a nice one.
Is this
beautiful bull? Yeah, I mean, look at the tips.
Ivory tips?
All the character on his horns. This is an old bull, Jeff.
So,
Well
I'm a
done.
whitetail hunter. I know whitetail scores. Put this in perspective for me. What would this be whitetail class? You know whitetails as well as I do.
Yeah, I'd say 160,
160?
165.
I definitely don't pass up a whitetail in the 160 range. I'm tickled to death.
But this is like a 6-7-year-old man.
That's one we want to take out. Man,
His last shot was perfect.
yeah,
I mean, Jeff, African animals are tough.
they are, and
saw it?
their vitals sit further up in front and behind the shoulder than what I'm used to hunting.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the biggest thing to get used to.
Yeah,
Because all our animals, you kind of need to shoot them on the front.
real
and back.
tight.
And
The footage looked great. I don't get it. I mean, we'll find out more whenever we field dress them, but either way, the story's done. I've got my first KUDU. I definitely hope it's not my last one.
well, I really hope.
I guarantee you it's not my last one. Yeah.
Well done.
Man, look at this thing.
That's freaking awesome, Jeff.
Thanks,
Wow. Oh man, I'm so proud of you, buddy.
Thank you, Sarah. Sarah was a freaking trooper. I don't know how much of the footage she got of us running through this mess, but
Oh, all of it.
it was not easy.
Wow. Dude,
That's-
this has so much mass.
That is beautiful. What a freaking awesome animal.
Remember what I told you, eh?
Yeah?
Down from the tip
Those deep curls.
onto the eyeball.
I couldn't be happier. I'm on cloud 9 right now.
Yeah, you did.
What a giant animal. I've never shot anything this big in my life.
Jeff, this is a great old bull.
Those
look
chips
how-
and the worn
Look
pieces.
how worn down this is. And I mean, a KUDU horn is rock hard, and this guy certainly works here. I like this big blade right here. Yeah,
Is
that's
that
what-
is that
that's
normal
the
how they
reach.
grow? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what you're gonna do is you'll start on the base, follow that reach
To measure him.
up to the tip. That's amazing.
I don't care what he measures out.
Doesn't
It's a
matter.
I couldn't be
freaking
happier.
stud. I'm so proud of you, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Big KUDU down. Congrats, man.
Thanks, brother.
Wow.
Thank you for everything. I mean, I wouldn't have done this without you and Sarah's help. So
Oh shoot, man.
You guys
It's
are-
a real pleasure.
this is your bull as much as it is mine. Sheba, come here, girl. Come here. Are you tired? I think we all are. Thank you, baby girl. I'd buy you dinner if I could.
Good girl.
She gets a little treat. We're gonna give her the tongue.
Nice. She's a movie star.
Sheba's treat for finding these animals. She gets a little piece of the tongue. That's her favorite. So we'll make sure we'll hook her up.
She's here to claim her prize.
I know. She's gonna fight me for it. Hold on,
Dude,
Dave.
heck of
Thank
a
you.
bull, brother.
Thanks, brother.
What is it? Yes! 54, dude!
Sheba.
Oh, that's incredible.
54, man! Congrats! What a
Thank
bowl!
Like I said, I don't care if he's 37. I'm
You drive
just
them big
happy.
here. John? Huh? Okay, this is not a 180, this is a 190.
That is a
I'll take it.
giant.
You know what
Huge
what it
Bowmar.
is? The length from the base to the tip.
He's long. Real long.
Well, he's not as wide, so it might appear that he's a little shorter.
sometimes they say a bull that doesn't have deep growth doesn't measure, but if you take it from the side, the length from there to there
Yeah.
is very long. You remember that 1.5 horn bull of mine was also not very deep, but that length.
50 freaking 4. That's a beautiful bull, buddy.
You don't realize what you just shot, man.
I'm getting an idea.
Well done.
Imagine a 190 sitting on the dirt right now.
Well, I've only seen like 3 of those in my life, so, and I've deer hunted since I was 7.
Incredible, buddy.
Well, thank you guys.
That's a true bull of a lifetime.
I'm glad you misjudged it because Sarah might have shot this one. Thanks, Sarah. You could have easily said, "Hey, I want this bull."
No, no.
And,
Yeah, I said 55.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
that's
you
good.
got
Yeah.
the biggest bull you could possibly
Yeah,
get.
squeaked it out.
You told me you're gonna find the bull an inch shorter than the bull Sarah wanted.
I said it. I said, Jeff has got a lucky rabbit put up his butt. I said, I let him, when we went turkey hunting, I let him turkey hunt for 5 minutes and he killed a huge tom with giant hooks. I'm like, my God. And I was like, I knew. I was like, because 55 plus Sarah was going to shoot. And I said, Jeff's going to find one that's just like 54, right on the bunny.
Well, I'm glad that I didn't have my bow the other day when that other one came in because he was a little bit smaller. I'd have just been happy with him too, but
Incredible, dude.
I'm pumped. Thank you guys.
Well, I'm really proud of you, bud.
This is everyone's bull.
Well done, man.
Great shooting too, but I mean, you really did pinwheel him the first shot. It just,
They're tough, man. I got a renowned respect for these things. You know, it's like I said, this is my first big game hunt, and deer and turkey. I mean, deer are tough animals too, but nothing like these suckers.
yeah.
These are dinosaurs, man.
54, man.
In 36 hours, over these.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and what's not crazy is the mass on this thing too is like super thick.
He's super old. John can correct me if I'm wrong, but the character he's showing on his horns means this is a very, very old bull.
Would you agree?
Yeah. No big.
I mean, look, his tine or his bases almost touch. I mean, they're literally the width of a finger.
Now, do they call those bosses on these too?
No, just bases.
Just bases?
I mean, those are super fast. Too bad that doesn't go into the scoring. You know, like.
Well, SCI, you
It does,
measure
yeah.
the base.
I'd be curious to see. I mean,
That's probably going to be like 10.5 inches.
Easy.
age-old wrenches was what I always say. So I got an old big one. I got them both.
It's amazing, man. And probably for
little
me, the
chip off the
coolest
back
part is the tip that's kind of chipped.
Yeah.
You know how many times you work the tree or whatever to kind of
Get that
work
one in.
that? Oh, it's nice.
I'm stoked.
Wow.